Welcome to AffairsCloud. My name is Vikas Rana. We are one-stop solution for current affairs. You can find Crack Current Affairs course on our application exclusively for current affairs, where you will get daily, weekly, monthly content on regular basis. Use the code Vikas10 and get 10% additional discount while purchasing the course. Also, students, follow us on Telegram and Instagram. The link for the same are mentioned in our description. This video has both English and Hindi. The first part is English and second part is Hindi. Timestamps are mentioned in the description below.
Hello everyone, how are you all? I hope you are all good. So students, in this video we are discussing important current affairs for the topic banking and finance, and it is the part first of the video for July month. Let's start. The question is, RBI in June issued final guidelines for Aadhaar enabled payment system touchpoint operators under what system or under what act to enhance the fraud risk management? It was under the Payment and Settlement System Act of 2007. And in July 2024, RBI issued the final draft of the guidelines on this Aadhaar enabled payment system vigilance for public and stakeholder feedback. And these new guidelines will be coming into effect from 1st of January 2026. Next, name the fintech company that launched the UPI credit card and inaugurated India's first UPI powered bank branch in Koramangala in Bengaluru in June 2025. So name the fintech company. It is Slice. And this newly launched Slice UPI credit card is a RuPay based card with a zero joining fees and annual fee. Next, on how much percent of the total growth in India's foreign financial asset during FY25 was mainly driven by higher overseas direct investment, currency and deposits and reserve assets as per India's international investment position data released by RBI in June 2025. So on how much percent of the total growth in India's financial asset during was mainly driven by higher overseas investment? It was almost 72%, right? The data further revealed that the reserve assets alone accounted for over 54% increase in Indian residents' overseas financial assets, followed by currency and deposits and direct investment in properties. Next, on the occasion of the 70th anniversary of the State Bank of India on July 1st, in which two cities did SBI inaugurated their specialized global trade finance centers? It was in Kolkata and Hyderabad, right? And during the event, SBI has announced a solar rooftop program that will support India's renewable energy transition. And this initiative, it aligns with India's commitment of achieving net zero emissions by 2070. Apart from this, SBI, they have inaugurated a specialized global trade finance center in Kolkata, West Bengal and Hyderabad, Telangana. These centers, they aims to enhance the bank's trade finance capabilities by streamlining the domestic and international trade transactions. Next, identify the insurance company that partnered with AU Small Finance Bank in June 2025 to distribute their life insurance products through the bank's network. So identify that insurance company. It is Life Insurance Corporation of India. Also, this collaboration supports the national vision of insurance for all by 2047 that was given by IRDAI. Next, in July, IndusInd Bank Limited, they have launched the Indie for Business platform to support which of the following businesses segment in India? It was MSME, right? This newly launched digital platform will offer all banking services across payments, loans, collection and account insights. Next, mention the organization that subscribed to 1,301.25 crore worth of non-convertible debentures issued by Aditya Birla Capital Limited in July 2025 to support renewable energy and e-mobility financing in India. So which is that organization? It is Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, AIIB, right? And they have issued non-convertible debentures worth 1,301.05 crore rupees, 2.05 crore, 1,301.25 crore rupees, right? Next, mark the correct statement regarding the report released by RBI's financial stability in June 2025. If we look at the option, all these three options are rightly mentioned. Next, how much did International Finance Corporation commit to IndiGrid Trust in July for the development of India's largest 180 megawatt standalone battery energy storage system project in Gujarat? This is 460 crore rupees. this IndiGrid Trust, right? What is this? This IndiGrid Trust is basically a infrastructure investment trust in which you can invest money similar to the process that you can buy stocks and mutual fund, right? And another in one is InvIT and another are REITs, real estate investment trust. Correct. Next, what is the interest rate applicable for RBI's floating rate saving bonds 2020 for the period from July 1st to December 31st, 2025 with interest payable on 1st of January 2026? So what is the interest rate applicable here? The bonds are for 8.05%. Correct. Next, mention the bank that became the first UAE bank to receive in principle approval from International Financial Service Centers Authority to set up the new International Financial Service Center banking unit within GIFT City, Gandhinagar, Gujarat. So mention that bank. Which is that bank we are talking about? Mashreq Bank is the bank that we are talking about. Next, what amount was approved by Green Climate Fund for Asian Development Bank led program that aims to unlock large scale public and private investment in high impact and emerging clean energy sectors in India? It is $200 million. Next, identify the company that received a certificate of registration from SEBI to operate as a stockbroker and clearing member under SEBI stockbroker regulations of 1992. It is Mobivic Securities Broking Private Limited. Next, identify the organization that launched two non-par, non-linked individual plans, that is Navjeevan Shri and Navjeevan Shri Single Premium in July 2025 to cater financial requirements of buyers and various stages of life. So identify the organization. It is Life Insurance Corporation of India. Apart from these two new offerings, LIC has launched the Critical Illness Health Rider, a non-linked individual health rider that can also be integrated to the eligible base plans, right? And it will be catering to the gig economy. Next, which bank signed an agreement with CCIL International Financial Service Centers Limited to enable real-time settlement of USD transaction, that is dollar transactions, at GIFT City in Gandhinagar, Gujarat? Right? It is Standard Chartered Bank. So it was at the GIFT City, that is in Gandhinagar, Gujarat. Next, mention the organization that launched in July the Universal Health Coverage Practitioners and Expert Knowledge Exchange and Resource, a regional peer-to-peer learning network, drive UHC across Asia and the Pacific region. So mention that organization. It is Asian Development Bank, ADB. Next, identify the company that in July unveiled a new index named BSE Insurance Index, derived from the constituents of BSE 1000 index. So identify the company. It is Asia Index Private Limited. The index has a base value of 1000 and this newly launched index is derived from the constituents of BSE 1000 index that are classified under the insurance sector. Next, mention the bank that partnered with Indigo Airlines to relaunch the co-branded credit card powered by Indigo Blue Chip. So mention that bank. It is Kotak Mahindra Bank, right? They partnered with Indigo Airlines to relaunch the co-branded credit card powered by Indigo Blue Chips. Next, in July, Computer Age Management Services, that is CAMS, they have launched CAMS Pay Payment Gateway, a next generation platform designed to meet the evolving needs of the businesses in India. Question asked is, CAMS Pay is developed in partnership with whom? It is developed in partnership with MyLaPay. Next, Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, they committed how much amount to IIFL Home Finance Limited to enhance affordable housing finance access to economically weaker section and low income groups in India. So AIIB, they committed how much amount? It is $100 million. Next, mention the mutual fund company that has launched the BSE Power ETF and BSE Power ETF Fund of Fund in July, exclusively focused on the power sector. So it is Grow Mutual Fund. They have launched this ETF and Fund of Funds. Next, what was the monetary penalty imposed by RBI on HDFC Bank in July for non-compliance with Foreign Exchange Management Act of 1999 regulation related to FDI investment? So what was the monetary penalty imposed on by RBI on HDFC Bank? It is 4.88 lakh rupees. Next, mention the organization that launched the Venture Capital Fund Settlement Scheme in July to aid the settlement of violations of winding up provisions by migrated VCFs. So mention that organization. Which is it? It is your SEBI, Securities and Exchange Board of India. Next, identify the financial institution in India that entered into a joint venture with Japan-based Sumitomo Mitsui Financial Group in July to provide wealth management services in Japan. It is SBI Holding Incorporation. Next, RBI issued new directions allowing voluntary pledge of gold and silver as collateral for agriculture and MSMEs. Mention the category of banks to which these new directions are not applicable. It is payment banks. Right, to them it is not applicable. Next is NPCI, National Payment Corporation of India. NPCI International Payment Limited is the branch of the international arm of NPCI, that is NIPL. They have announced the inclusion of 13 additional Indian banks into the UPI Pay Now services, which is a joint initiative between RBI and whom? It is between RBI and Monetary Authority of Singapore. So that's all for the day, students. Another question that you need to remember and that is important is mention the bank that proposed the International Financial Service Center Authority to set up an International Financial Service Center banking unit at GIFT City in Gandhinagar, Gujarat. So which bank proposed this? It was proposed by CTBC Bank. This is a Taiwanese commercial bank and has proposed to the International Financial Service Center Authority to set up a IFSC banking unit at GIFT City in Gandhinagar, Gujarat. Now students, let's move to the revision part. It will be quite beneficial for your learning. Mention the insurance company that launched the Climate Safe, a first of its kind parametric climate risk insurance product in India that will offer quick financial relief to the individuals that are affected by climate change related weather events such as extreme heat, cold waves or excessive rainfall. So from these weather events, which company will be providing insurance? It is Bajaj Allianz General Insurance Company Limited, and they have launched this Climate Safe. It will provide financial support of up to 6,000 rupees per worker, right? If the AQI, that is your air quality index, increases by or exceeds by 400, right? And if this happens twice, correct, then the workers will be provided with 6,000 rupees per worker. Next, identify the bank which signed an MOU with Land Ports Authority of India, an autonomous body under the Ministry of Home Affairs, to enhance the banking services infrastructure at 26 land ports situated along India's border with Nepal, Bangladesh and Bhutan and Myanmar. So which bank signed this MOU with Land Ports Authority of India? It is State Bank of India, that is SBI. Next is in April, with self-regulatory organization SRO, they have signed an MOU with Bank of India to enhance financial access for small, micro and women-led enterprises in rural and semi-urban areas. It is Sadhan, right? Take a note of this, Sadhan. This is New Delhi-based SRO, self-regulatory organization appointed by RBI for microfinance and impact finance institutions, and they signed this MOU with Bank of India. Next, India's export of goods and services reached an all-time high of $824.9 billion in FY25 as per the data on services trade for March 2025 that was released by RBI in May 2025. Take a note of this. Next, identify the payment service provider that recently launched the India's first model context protocol server for a payment gateway in April, enabling businesses to integrate AI-driven systems. It is Razorpay. Take a note of this. This is the first model context protocol server for a payment gateway that will enable AI-driven systems that will be directly incorporated with the payment infrastructure. Next, ZAC E-Payment Services Limited, that is ZACPay, they received the final regulatory approval of the certification of authorization from RBI to operate as a payment aggregator. Payment aggregator, that means they can now receive and send payments to the merchants within India only. If it was cross-border, then it could have been between different countries. Next, IFSCA, that is International Financial Service Centers Authority, they have signed an MOU with which institution to boost capacity building in the securities market in GIFT IFSC. It is National Institute of Securities Market. Next is in May, which company launched India's first AI-powered gold melting automated teller machine, that is IT. If you remember, this was launched earlier in China, right? And now it is Gold Sikka. It is now Gold Sikka Limited. This is the company. They have launched the first AI powered gold melting ATM machine. With this ATM, you can deposit gold and withdraw. You can basically provide the gold to these ATMs and they will be returning you the cash based on the purity and the weight of the gold. Next is what is the minimum investment threshold or ticket size mandated by SEBI for the issuance of securitized debt instruments for RBI regulated originators and unregulated entities. So minimum investment threshold here is of 1 crore rupees. It is now mandatory to have at least 3 years of operating experience for the originators, and these new norms will aim to ensure originators they maintain interest in underlying asset, as the amount has been now 1 crore rupees. Right, this is for SDIs, that is securitized debt instruments for RBI regulated originators and unregulated entities that are engaged in securitization activities. Next, mention the organization that supported the Haryana AI development project, which was approved by Haryana cabinet led by Haryana Chief Minister Nayab Singh Saini in May for the period of 2025 to 2028. So which is that project? It is World Bank. Correct. So Nayab Singh Saini, the Chief Minister of Haryana, has approved a 3-year Haryana Artificial Intelligence Development Program that will be backed by World Bank. And this is for 2025 till 2028, and 474.39 crore rupees will be spent here, and an SPV, special purpose vehicle, will be established. Next, SBI has released a report forecasting that India's retail inflation measured by the Consumer Price Index is expected to remain below 3% during the first quarter of FY26. That is a good news for Indian market. With this, what will happen is that people will be having more money, as inflation won't be rising. People will be having more money in their hand, hence the spending power of people will increase. And if you are seeing that few months or few days back, the repo rate was also reduced by 50 basis points by RBI, and this initiative itself will further enhance the market. How? Because the loans, the home loans especially, they will be getting cheap. Next, Kotak Mahindra Bank launched their premium invite-only Kotak Solitaire credit card that will be targeting the high net worth individuals customer segment under their Solitaire program. Next is mark the correct statement regarding the RBI relaxing norms for foreign portfolio investors to buy local corporate bonds by removing short-term debt instrument limits and concentration limits in May 2025. If we look at the options, we have to find the correct statement. So previously, FBIs were allowed to invest a maximum of 30% of their total investment in corporate bonds with a residual maturity of 1 year or less. So option A is absolutely right. Next is which country introduced the world's first national cryptocurrency tourism payment system in May through a collaboration with Binance Pay and DK Bank? It is Bhutan. What will happen now is the tourism will be flourishing here, as the tourists will now be able to pay through their cryptocurrencies in Bhutan for the tourism, be it your flight tickets, be it your hotel booking, or for food, or for leisure, or for travel. Everything can be paid through Binance, right, in the cryptocurrencies. Next, and the cryptocurrency that will be accepted here is BTC, that is your Binance coin, BNB, and USDC, that is United States dollar coin. Next, in May, RBI recognized the Fixed Income Money Market and Derivative Association as a dash, that is as a self-regulatory organization, financial market regulated by RBI. This recognition will enhance the authority to regulate the member conduct and enforce fair prices in the financial market. And this organization, it is an association of the commercial banks, public financial institutions, primary dealers, and insurance companies that was incorporated in 1998. Next is public sector banks cumulative profit rose to a record level in FY25, registering a growth of 26% over the previous year. Identify the correct statement from these options. So all these three options are rightly mentioned. Next, mention the name of the bank becoming the first from the Middle East and African region to open their branch in GIFT IFSC, that is in Gandhinagar, Gujarat. It is Qatar National Bank Group, the first bank from the Middle East and African region. Next is mention the name of the specialized suite of current and saving accounts launched by Canara Bank to cater the institutional clients including healthcare, education and religious organizations. It is Canara True Edge. The new offering is designed to address the unique banking requirements of institutional clients across the country, including various sectors such as your healthcare, education and religious organizations. Next, identify the financial institute that extended 1910 crore funding to Uttarakhand in May for urban infrastructure development under the Uttarakhand Urban Sector Development Agency. It is European Investment Bank, that is EIB. This will enhance the urban infrastructure development across 4 cities of Uttarakhand. Right? Take a note of it. And the amount here is 1910 crore rupees. Next, RBI has imposed a total monetary penalty of 2.72 crore rupees on SBI and Jana Small Finance Bank. This is for non-compliance and regulatory guidelines. SBI was imposed with 1.728 crore rupees penalty and Jana Small Finance Bank, they were imposed with 1 crore rupees penalty. Next, mention the 2 fixed deposit schemes launched by Indian banks in 2025 to provide secure investment options and promote environmental sustainability. It is IND Secure and IND Green. This move comes along the discontinuation of their earlier retail FD schemes, that is IND Super 400 days, IND Super 300 days, effective from 8th of May. Next, which of the following recently received the certificate of authorization, that is COA, from RBI in May to operate as an online payment aggregator? We just saw what are the online payment aggregator. So PU Payments, they also received the approval to act as a payment aggregator. Next, Morgan Stanley Capital International, they included Coromandel International Limited along with FSN E-Commerce Ventures Limited, that is NICA, in their MSCI Global Standard Index as a part of their semi-annual index review. Take a note of this. This is good for the markets. Next, name the company in India that partnered with Mongolia's Khan Bank in May to modernize their core digital banking platform. It is TCS, Tata Consultancy Service Limited. And this will leverage the TCS flagship initiative, TCS BANCS, that is your banking and core systems global banking platform that will support the Khan Bank's comprehensive digital transformation by streamlining their operation and boosting the AI powered innovations. Next, what is the minimum value of private placement debt issue for which the SEBI mandated the use of electronic book platform in May to improve transparency and efficiency? It is 20 crore rupees. Take a note of it. Previously, electronic book mechanism was compulsory for all the private placements of debt securities with an issue size of 50 crore rupees or above. And now it is 20 crore rupees. Next, which of the following statements are correct regarding the recent announcements made by RBI concerning bank and fintech institutions? If we look at the options, all these 3 options are rightly mentioned. Star Health and Allied Insurance, they have expanded their Superstar Health plan by launching Star Flexi. Identify the 3 new plan variants introduced under this expansion. It is Preferred, Essential and Secure. So A, B and D. Elite is not one of them. Next, mention the name of the bank from which Mumbai Metropolitan Region Development Authority has secured a 1,500 crore rupees bank loan for redeveloping the slum areas along the Eastern Express Highway in Ghatkopar in Mumbai, Maharashtra. So mention the name of that bank. Which is that bank we are talking about here? It is Bank of Maharashtra. Right? This will be the first phase of 8,498 crore rupees slum rehabilitation authority project, and the government agency will redevelop the Ramabai Ambedkar Nagar and Kamraj Nagar in Ghatkopar. Next, in May, HDFC Bank Limited, they have launched a new suite of Biz Plus current account to meet the evolving needs of India's which sector? It is micro, small and medium enterprise. Right, the account aims to address the evolving financial needs of the businesses across 4 growth stages, that is setup, then growth, then expansion and then further diversification. Next, SEBI, they have extended the compliance deadline for its revised framework on offshore derivative instruments that are issued by the FPIs, to which date it has been extended to 13th of November 2025. That was earlier 17th of May 2025. 5, right? From 17th of May extended till 17th of November. These updated norms, they aim to enhance transparency and investor accountability through stricter disclosure requirements and compliance measures. The decision here follows the representation from the market participants requesting more time for a smooth transition to the updated regulations. Next, in May, RBI has imposed a monetary penalty on Deutsche Bank India and Yes Bank Limited for non-compliance with specific regulatory guidelines under the Banking Regulation Act of 1949. Mention the amount of penalty imposed on Deutsche Bank India. So the penalty imposed is of 50 lakh rupees, right? Take a note of this. On Deutsche Bank and on Yes Bank, the penalty imposed is of 29.6 lakh rupees. Next, identify the institute with which Indian Overseas Bank signed a memorandum of understanding for customized electronic learning and certification program on micro, small and medium enterprises. So identify the institute. It is your Indian Institute of Banking and Finance. The objective of the MOU here is to enhance the knowledge of employees about MSMEs and respond to credit need of MSMEs adequately and in a timely manner. Next, according to the recent approvals granted by RBI in May 25, pick out the incorrect statement. If we look at the options here, only C is wrong, A is right, B is right. C is saying that Capital India Finance Limited, they have obtained RBI approval for capital infusion into its key subsidiary, Capital India Home Loans Limited. Is it correct? No, it is CIFL, that is Capital India Finance Limited. They have received the RBI approval for sale and change in control of their material subsidiary, that is Capital India Homes Loan Limited, right? Not your capital infusion. I repeat, they have received the RBI approval not for capital infusion but for the sale and change in control of its material subsidiary. Next, according to RBI latest data released in May, the outward remittance under the liberalized remittance scheme declined by 6.85% year on year. To what amount? It has been declined to $29.56 billion in FY25 compared to $31.74 billion recorded in FY24. Here RBI cited certain factors which mainly contributed to the decline of the outward remittance. First is your global uncertainty. Second, the policies that have been implemented by various countries such as the UK, USA, right? Then apart from this, the warlike situations that are going on, students are now, or the people are less preferring outside countries for various travel or your education. Hence, the outward remittance has declined. But the inward remittance has touched a almost 130 plus billion dollar mark, which is again an interesting thing. Next, RBI has released their latest monthly bulletin revealing that NRI deposit in Indian banks soared to an 11-year high in the FY25. Identify the correct statement regarding the inflows in three types of NRI deposits. If we look at them, all these three options are rightly mentioned. Next, in May, RBI notified the formation of a 6-member Payment Regulatory Board under the Payment Regulatory Board Regulations of 2025 to regulate and supervise the payment systems in India, replacing the existing boards for regulation and supervision of payments and settlement system. Who will be the chairperson of this 6-member board? So, who will be here the member? RBI Governor. That is, who is the Governor of RBI? Sanjay Malhotra as of now. Next, identify the bank from which Vivriti Asset Management, they have secured a fresh commitment of $20 million for its Vivriti India Retail Assets Fund, bolstering the fund's capital base to $165 million. So, identify the bank. Which is that bank? It is your Development Bank of Austria, right? Take a note of it. Then, how much amount is approved by the Central Board of Directors of RBI in their 615th meeting that was held in May 25 to be transferred as a surplus to the Government of India for FY25? How much amount is the surplus? 2.69 trillion rupees. Quite interesting. This is a 27% higher surplus than last fiscal year of FY24, where the amount was 2.11 trillion rupees and here it is 2.69 trillion rupees. Also, the central board has decided to increase the contingency risk buffer to 7.5%, the highest end of the new band. Next, mention the name of the bank bank which is in partnership with Super.Money, that is a fintech platform backed by Flipkart, launched a RuPay credit card to offer high cashback rewards for UPI based QR code payments. Mention the name of the bank. It is your Axis Bank, right? They partnered with Super.Money. Next, identify the insurance company that has entered into a strategic partnership with Equitas Small Finance Bank with an aim to expand life insurance accessibility in India through bank branch network. It is Aditya Birla Sun Life Insurance Company Limited. This partnership aims to enhance financial protection and inclusion, particularly in semi-urban and rural areas of the country. Next, Kotak Mahindra Bank Limited, they have introduced a new chapter of their flagship digital banking platform, that is Kotak 811, with a campaign that celebrates the seamless, intuitive and full service experience it offers its customers. This initiative will enhance the digital banking experience for the customers who are looking for modern banking than traditional banking. Next, according to Alliance Global Insurance Report of 2025 that was released in May 25, India's life insurance market is expected to grow at 10.5% annual CAGR over the next decade. Right? This report has been recently released by Alliance Global Insurance. And the Indian market, it is poised to become the second largest in Asia, surpassing Japan. And India's growth here of life insurance sector will be at 10.5 CAGR over the next decade. Next, pick out the correct statement regarding the draft guidelines issued by RBI in May for gold loans by banks and NBFCs. If we have to find the correct statement here, B and C is right, A is wrong. A is saying that the loan to value ratio for gold loans is capped at 85%. No, it is capped at 75%. That means if the gold is pledged worth 100 rupees, out of for this 100 rupees, only 75 rupees can be claimed as a loan. Maximum amount of loans 75%. Next, identify the insurance company along which along with Vidyaniti LLP jointly acquired 4.25% stake in National Highways Infrastructure Trust for 1100 crore rupees through an open market transactions, right? This is National Highway Infra Trust, correct? So name that insurance company. Which is that insurance company? It is SIB Life Insurance Company Limited along with Vidyaniti LLP. They have jointly acquired this 4.25% stake, and this acquisition was carried out through an open market transaction reflecting growing investor interest in long-term infrastructure asset. Next, in May, RBI released a draft circular titled Updation, Periodic Updation of KYC, Revised Instruction, proposing amendments to the existing KYC master direction. Question asked is, as per the circular, what is the timeline for updating KYC for high risk customers? It is 2 years. Right? What is the timeline here for updating KYC for high risk customers? It is 2 years. Next, in May, SEBI barred former IndusInd Bank CEO Sumant Katpalia and 4 other senior officials from trading in the securities market. What was the allegation that led to this action? It is because of the insider trading, right? The former IndusInd Bank CEO Sumant Katpalia and 4 other senior officials were barred from the market.